Countdown Daily is presented by IBM. When you're ready to stop talking innovation and start doing, visit ibm.com/doing.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Countdown Daily presented by IBM. Trey Wingo here with you. We'll hear from Mark Schlereth and Darren Woodson in just a minute. But the season now officially underway with the first game of 2008. The Giants defended their Super Bowl title well by taking out the Washington Redskins 16-7. But was everybody impressed with the way that game went? Well, let's go to what some people had to say. One of our fans, CT Town Pats, voiced his thoughts on Matt Mosley's game blog. Do Giant fans legitimately think their team played well last night? I thought Manning looked horrible, and the defense definitely looked like it took a step back. Sure, they had a little pressure in the first half, but the Skins easily stopped the blitz in the second. They should be worrisome, or that should be worrisome. I don't see the Giants making the playoffs this year with the way they played last night. Well, opinions are like noses. Everybody has one, and we're joined now by Darren Woodson and Mark Schlereth. Clearly, guys, the Giants did not have a killer instinct last night. They could have put more points on the board and really beaten the Redskins by 20 points if they had been clicking on all cylinders all game. But did you think Manning played horrible?
No, I didn't think he played horrible. I didn't think he played great. I think he played well in the first half, and then in the second half, they sort of died down, and things weren't going their way. And I think the main problem was this. They didn't score in the red zone when they go, or they, as Tom Coughlin would say, in the green zone when they got there, and that just didn't happen. And that's the reason why everyone's questioning the killer instinct that the Giants have. You got to give them time. They will get better in the red zone. This is a big physical football team. They'll play better.
Maybe that's the problem. 31 teams call it the red zone. He calls it the green zone. They're confused.
Yeah.
It's obvious to me. I mean, yeah, they have to execute better in the red zone. They've got to be able to score in the red zone. But I like the way Eli Manning played. I like the way he managed the game. You know what? There were some incompletions during the course of that game. To me, were great football plays, smart football plays that he made a couple of years ago. He'd have forced it down the middle, throwing an interception. He did not do that. He did not put his team in harm's way. They dominated this football game on the line of scrimmage. The one thing that happened, they let off the gas pedal a little bit, and they allowed Washington back into the game, and then they couldn't flip that switch back on. That's something that's a learning experience. I don't expect to see that much more. I like this Giants football team. I like the way they played, and I like the way they dominated the line of scrimmage.
They were clearly the more physical football team in this contest. Maybe the final point total wasn't what you wanted, but I thought Eli was efficient, and Brandon Jacobs, well, you couldn't stop him or Plexico Burress all game long. Listen, we may not agree with everything this guy said, but we want to hear from you. Send us your emails at countdowndaily@espn.com or text us at 4ESPN. That is 43776. Stay with us. Lots more coming on this edition of Countdown Daily presented by IBM. We will have all the injury updates from ESPN's John Clayton. Welcome back to Countdown Daily presented by IBM. Trey Wingo here with you. Injuries always a big part of every game, and there have been a couple of quarterbacks that have been pretty consistent in making it out there that did not play a single snap all summer. That, of course, would be Tom Brady of the Patriots and Peyton Manning of the Colts. ESPN.com's John Clayton now with their injury status and updates for Week 1.
Well, Tom Brady certainly is going to be out there, but you wonder if he has limited mobility because he does have a foot injury. We don't know if it's a fracture. We don't know if it's just a deep bone bruise. We just know that that foot is ailing him, and so there's going to be some limited mobility, but nevertheless, the fact that he's taken him off the injury report, he's going to play. Peyton was off after practice saying how well he thinks things are going to go for him. He feels good. The knees responded well. There's been no swelling this week, and so the fact that he's going to be out there and play new center, but still, it's the same Peyton Manning.
All right, John, thanks very much. Do not forget, we want to hear from you. Send us your emails at countdowndaily@espn.com, or you can always text us to get in touch with us. That's text 4ESPN or 43776. When we continue, predictions for all the games, Countdown Daily, presented by IBM, back in, I'd say 15. As we continue in our Getting It Done segment on Countdown Daily presented by IBM, Mark and Darren agree on all these games. They think Cincinnati will beat the Ravens. They like the Jets and Brett Favre to take out the Dolphins. They like Tom Brady and the Patriots over the Chiefs. They like New Orleans over the Saints. They like the Eagles to take care of the Rams. And they like the Steelers to win what would be their 6th consecutive season opener. They both like the Jaguars over the Titans. They like the Cowboys on the road taking out Cleveland. They like San Diego at home taking out the Panthers. Sunday night, they both like the Colts to take out the Bears, and on the first of 2 Monday night games, they like Green Bay to take care of Minnesota. As for games where they disagree, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go through these. Let us start with Detroit and Atlanta. Who do you like?
I like Detroit in this game simply because the matchup problem that Atlanta's going to have on the outside with Calvin Johnson and Roy Williams. And, you know, when you're talking about big plays down the field, Detroit will make those big plays because you got to concern yourself with the Detroit running game at the same time. One-on-ones, no way Atlanta matches up with Detroit.
Well, you know what, I understand that, and I like the Atlanta Falcons simply because the way they played in the preseason, they played with a nasty attitude, inside out, dominating the line of scrimmage, something that the Detroit Lions have never been able to do. And I also like Michael Turner, the burner. That guy can flat run. He'll be my Pro Bowl selection for he'll be a Pro Bowl running back this year. So I like the way he's going to run the ball.
A bold limb Mark Schlereth steps out on. Seattle, Buffalo. Who do you like?
I like Buffalo in this game, and the reason why is because we look at Buffalo week in and week out in the preseason. Yeah, they struggled early on. Trent Edwards came on later on in the preseason. This team has really rallied behind them. And then when you look on the defensive side of the ball, the pressure that they exert, they bring pressure day in and day out. I don't think Seattle, with all the injuries that they have, can stand up to the Buffalo Bills.
Well, Hasselbeck, to me, is probably the most underrated player in the National Football League. Great quarterback, even without weapons. Let's face it. Honestly, when has he ever had weapons at the wide receiver position? He hasn't, and they've always been successful. And then defensively, this is a football team that can flat out get after the quarterback. I think you could put this team on their front seven, especially the linebacker position. I think they are as good as any linebacking core in the National Football League. I think they will get after Trent Edwards, the quarterback. I think they win this game on the road.
Arizona, San Francisco. Who do you like?
I like Arizona in this game. I think Kurt Warner, I think this team, again, has rallied around a guy that's an older veteran. They understand that Kurt Warner can win games for him, beat the press coverage on the outside. He understands how to play the quarterback position. As long as he doesn't turn the football over, I think Arizona wins this one in a close game, but too many weapons with the Arizona Cardinals on the outside.
I'm going to go on the other side of that, and I agree with you on Kurt Warner. I think he's the right choice at the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, but I like the defense. Greg Minuski, the defense coordinator of this 49er team, very aggressive. And guess who they got back this offseason from a knee injury? Manny Lawson, first-rounder, outside linebacker, one of those hybrid guys that can put pressure on the opponent's quarterback. Oh, by the way, Patrick Willis is unblockable. So I like that matchup. I like defensively. I think they can hold their own and shut out the Arizona Cardinals a little bit.
Patrick Willis is a rookie, 174 tackles to lead the NFL. And then the late Monday night game, Denver-Oakland.
Well, he's a homer over here. Of course, I'm going to pick against them. I think the Oakland Raiders win this game. And,
Hater.
Denver's going up to Oakland. I think it's going to be a tough game for them going up that way. And then, the excitement that the Raiders nation is going to have on the opening day. JaMarcus Russell, he's maybe not going to carry this team with his arm, but McFadden and that group, they will run the ball consistently on a Denver team that's had trouble stopping the run.
Well, that may be true. They may be able to run the ball a little bit, and that Raiders nation may be excited to the opening kickoff. And then after that, they're going to be down once again because this Raiders football team is just not very good. I don't think the Broncos football team is that good either, but I think they're better than the Raiders. I'm taking the Broncos to go in there and beat the Oakland Raiders on the strength of Jay Cutler, his performance, and what he does, and also that secondary of the Denver Broncos I think is pretty good.
That would be the Oakland Raiders' 6th straight loss to start a season, which of course would extend their record that they already have for the most in a row actively to start a season at 5. That was our Getting It Done segment. Fellas, we got it done. Countdown Daily will be back Monday. Thanks for watching Countdown Daily presented by IBM. That's Mark Schlereth. That's Darren Woodson. I don't know who I am some days. It says Trey Wingo. Thank you. We'll see you later.